Welcome to the Two-Ton Nerds. As always, my name is Max James. It's October 24th, 2018, which means it's day 24 of the 31 Days of Fright horror movie project, year 7. And today's movie is Tragedy Girls. Now, before I jump into telling you what you need to know about this movie, I want to tell you my initial response when the final credit rolled upon the screen, and is that I really dug this movie. I really have to give this kind of my highest praise in the terms of my mind didn't meander or I played on my phone. I was like straight up watching everything on screen and I loved it. I love the practical effects. I love the few instances that use CGI. It was very necessary. It was the acting, what else? Just the overall look of this movie. I loved it. It was very colorful. It was like a lot of it was like shot during the day, and there's few instances at night. But it just, I think the overall, I just loved it. And I think my favorite scene is the beginning of this movie. I really loved how cliche it was, and then it kind of flipped the script a little bit, and it kind of took it into a new direction, and I really loved it. So, now, I'm going to tell you what you need to know about this movie, and first up is the plot. The plot of the movie follows these two girls who are trying to boost their social media following by taking advantage of the tragedy of the serial killer kind of going around killing people in their town. So they're kind of just kind of like tragedy girls. So, but they kind of take it a step further, and they end up kidnapping the killer, and they kind of end up going on a murder spree themselves, and kind of blaming it on the serial killer that they have kidnapped in the shed. So I think that's a really good premise, and the whole dialogue of this movie is great. And the final sequence of this movie is like amazing. I was like fully engrossed into it. I don't know. I can't talk about this movie too much because I really don't want to reveal a lot. And even what I just said is a lot. And so, because there's a lot that goes on, it has a Scott Pilgrim-esque kind of hyper reality feel to it because it has like stuff popping up on screen, and it has a few homages to other classic horror movies, especially that last sequence in the movie. It's just overall just a lot of fun. And what I also think is that this movie would be paired up very well with two other movies. For like if you want to have like a true fun trilogy night, I would do with Detention and as well as Final Girl. I think those two have the same feel as Tragedy Girls, and I think it would just be amazing to watch all three of them like that, back to back to back. And because they just have, they're awesome. And they're all very different, but they all feel the same because they have that horror comedy feel, but they all are very serious at moments. And it's just really good. And they're all well acted, well special effects, I think, and they're not really talked about. I haven't really seen these movies talked about a lot, so that's why I think these movies are perfect to be paired up with one another. So now on to my rating. You got 1, run-of-the-mill horror; 2, best watch with a group; 3, more than average horror but has nothing new to the horror genre; 4, helps move the horror genre forward; and 5, being a horror classic. This was kind of tough because there's a lot going for this movie, and since I think it is definitely, I think it's a 4, to be honest with you. It helps move the horror genre forward because it shows that it has a place in modern times with texting and social media, but also it has a place where it's also helps move the horror genre forward when it has, when mixed with comedy. And the comedy in this movie is really funny, and it's just really good. I just enjoy this movie, but it's also a 2, like I said, it's best watched with a group, and also paired with a couple other movies. So, really, that's all I gotta say about this movie. As always, my name is Max James. Please like, comment, and share this video. Let me know what you think about this movie in the comments below. And as always, coming from the basement, and I'm going to go geek out.